And welcome to the Marcus and Mike Show, guys. I am Mike. On today's show, we got to talk more Antonio Brown saga. What's going on with him? USA loses to in the what was it to France? I do believe. And then of course Thursday night football. But before we get too carried away, Marcus, welcome to the show. How is your afternoon going so far?
Pretty good, man. Just watching the USA lose, I was like, oh god. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, so as we alluded to pre-show here, USA did get beat by. Let me check here. It was France, correct?
France, yeah,
Yeah. So they did lose to France. Is their first international loss in 58 games. Are you
right.
affected by this at all? Like, is it a big deal? No deal?
I was a little disappointed. I don't think it's a big deal. This was loaded, man. And let me tell you something. Rudy Gobert dominated the game. Utah Jazz's Rudy Gobert. He was, him and Donovan Mitchell are teammates in the NBA season, right? They weren't teammates today. Uh, on transition buckets. So Rudy Gobert dominated. Listen, France had Evan Fournier, Frank Ntilikina, Nicholas Batum. I mean, they had a wealth of NBA players that
Right.
almost were just as good as our guys. Our top guys didn't show up. A few All Stars showed up, some really good players. I think the USA did miss Tatum for his scoring there. Obviously, the USA only scored 79 points today. Kimball Walker almost was a no-show this morning. And then Donovan Mitchell got shut down in the fourth quarter. He had 29 points in the first three quarters and did not score a point in the fourth quarter. And they put a lid on that basket, man. Rudy Gobert. One thing is funny in international play, even on made free throws, if the ball's bouncing around a little bit and it finally drops through, you know that if the ball's bouncing around, you can tap the ball out of there.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. So
Yeah,
there's
so
so there's no goaltending.
yeah, no, there's no. Well, yeah, there's goaltending. If the ball's going down into the basket, you can't put your hand there, obviously.
Right.
But if it's bouncing around the rim, it's a live rebound. So
I
you
didn't
can
know
just
that.
go grab. Yeah, you can just go grab the ball for a live rebound. USA didn't do that once. I mean, the ball's bouncing around on some free throws. Donovan Mitchell tried one time, and he's only 6'3",
Yeah.
and he didn't get it. I mean, man, you'd have thought that USA would have a big time advantage. A shot goes up, it's bouncing around the rim. I would jump up there and take that ball off the rim.
You're right.
So, anyways, it is what it is. I think Popovich did a good job. You have to remember, the United States players didn't. They don't play together. This group they play together the last 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Um, Nicholas Batum and Rudy Gobert and Nando DeColo, another former NBA player, former Spur. These guys know each other. They know where they're going to be. They've been playing with each other for a long time, since for a while. So it's yeah, it's a tough task. Now that being said, next summer when our top 10 players really go, like Kevin Durant shows up and
Right.
LeBron James shows up and Kawhi Leonard shows up, there's nothing Nicholas Batum and Rudy Gobert are going to do about that, and Frank Ntilikina and all that. That's just not going to happen. So we'll win the gold, but yeah, I mean, I wish the United States would have won today's game. They struggled scoring, and they didn't take advantage. They didn't take advantage of a few things, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, they lost. I mean, yeah, it's a little disappointing, but oh well.
Yeah, and kind of just to add to your point there, a tad bit. I think the foreign players in the NBA take more pride for playing for their homeland during these
Yeah,
international games. So they're out there giving 100% because there's their pride of the country. Like, hey, we beat America. Hey, we beat France. Hey, we beat like Iran, or like, it's a different type of pride for them. I think. Well, whether you want to admit it or like or not, the U.S. kind of takes these non Olympic events kind of secondhand, because you have people like LeBron James that are, he's gearing up for the NBA season. He's ready to
yeah,
make $100 million. He doesn't want to get hurt playing for
yeah,
free. I mean, like, I'm sure they're making some type of compensation, but it's nowhere of what they're making in the NBA. So with all that being said, I'm not really too overly concerned about it because I think we really take the Olympics more serious than the FIBA or anything just like that. So
yeah,
once the Olympic rolls around, we'll be totally okay. Just go ahead and put the gold around our necks, and we'll be good to go.
yeah.
So speaking of putting gold around people's necks, Antonio Brown. Seems like we cannot go a day without talking about this man. It's been nothing
Yeah.
but a saga story. Yesterday, we asked if he was going to finish the season with the Patriots. Now, I think the question is he going to play one down for the
Yeah.
Patriots? If you guys have not heard, Antonio Brown has been accused in, I believe it's civil court, not criminal court, civil court, of rape from a former trainer. Her name's Brittany Taylor. Uh, just some food for thought. I heard she works for the Oakland Raiders now as well. So take that as you will, whatsoever. But there have been three instances of where Brittany Taylor is accusing Antonio Brown of sexual assault slash rape, dating back
Right.
to 2017. So what are your thoughts on this?
Um, at first, first glance, without reading anything, I'm thinking, it's a money grab. Another woman coming forward, a guy while he's down.
However, she's
It's
only
only
asking for 75,000.
right, only asking for 75,000. Now, when I heard you say that, I thought the same thing. Only 75,000
Right.
for a rape.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard that they had to just put the 75,000 out there just to get in the door to get the indictment going or whatever it is to be charged in the civil court. That thing's going to go up to $1 million.
I'm sure it will.
Because it actually, she's saying it was a rape. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's another one. Listen, I don't really want to question women too hard, but I sometimes I just don't understand how you wait this long and da. Although it's 2017, 2018, so it's not like she's waiting 10 years or something. But then so I'm thinking it's a money grab by her,
Mm-hmm.
in that, like, oh yeah, another one of these, right? But then flip the script, things evolve, you read more stuff. I read the emails, I read some of the emails, I read some of the text messages. Dude, Antonio Brown's we already he's an idiot, he's a moron. This dude's
Right.
not a good dude. So by his own admission, something happened. So it's not like she just one day got the phone and goes, you know what? I've been working with Antonio Brown for 3 years. You know what? I'm just gonna accuse him of rape. She's not, at first you might think that. She's not doing that. When you read the emails and stuff, I mean he's having sex with her while she's asleep. He's actually even admitting that, why'd you make me feel that I had to like sexually assault you? Like, dude, like Antonio Brown's language sucks. And
Well,
he's gonna have to come out of pocket.
yeah, right. So I have not read the emails.
Yeah.
I try to read that first line, and like anytime when I have to read something out loud and try to make sense of it, I'm
Right.
not going to like read it. Like he was using shorthand and the U and the R. Is like, come on, man. Like you are a college educated professional
Yes.
athlete. Learn how to write a freaking email. But with that out, with that out of the way, from what you are saying to me, like I'm taking your like your word at this. I have not read into this at all, meaning the emails. Um, if you are admitting that you felt like you were raping them or doing this or like doing that, why did Brittany Taylor keep putting herself in that situation?
True.
So
I
I'm not saying that she is totally innocent or Antonio Brown is in this happens three separate times.
right.
If the first time you felt like you were a victim, why did you continuously put yourself in that position over and over and over again? Not once, not twice, but three times. So yes, I know she was a trainer for Antonio Brown. I don't know if she worked for the Steelers, but if I remember correctly from what I read, she was down in Miami, so she was even
True.
with the Pittsburgh Steelers like at the time. And then I read that she is now working for Oakland. So I don't know how true that is, or because Photoshop is a very powerful tool,
Right.
and you kind of take it for what it's worth at face value a little
Right.
bit. So if this is true that she's working with the Oakland Raiders, I almost have to say that maybe Oakland is trying to poke the bear a little bit, like haha,
Right.
But I don't see John Gruden or a Mike Mayock really going down
No.
down that path too much. Maybe if it was Al Davis still at the helm
Yeah.
and this happened, I could see that happening. But like we've talked about this before. The Baylor guy, he got a charge with like rape. His career is over.
Yeah.
Now Antonio Brown is getting charged or not charged with rape, but accused of rape, I should say. And
Yeah.
this could quite possibly end his career too. He could never.
Yeah.
If this goes any
Dude.
further, I bet you he is cut by the New England Patriots by Saturday afternoon. Doesn't play it down for the New England
Dude.
Patriots, and he's never going to see an NFL team again.
No. You're right. But hey, let me tell you something, man. That Me Too movement
Yeah.
ain't no joke.
Right.
Okay. It's already out that he did something to her while she's asleep,
And
man.
and he has admitted it, like
He's
passively
admitted
aggressively.
it.
Passively
He's
aggressively admitted it.
admitted it. Dude. Now, I mean, as a player, I can get over that. I'll be like, I'll look at Antonio. I won't want him around my daughters, but I can be like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, catch some footballs today. I'm going to block for you.
Right.
I'm trying to win. I can look past that. But some fans, man, and the Me Too movement and some guys, man, they will not look past that. And if you have anything of where if he ever gets signed and it's a protest, NFL teams will release his ass.
Yeah. The Michael Vick thing comes to mind. I mean, people
Yeah.
were rioting in the streets for the Philadelphia Eagles for the first five or six games, and then he started
Yeah.
to win, and then it caught it, then it all kind of went hush hush. So
See, yeah. No, go ahead.
so like I said, like I'm not 100% blaming Antonio Brown. I mean, Brittany Taylor is to blame as well for putting
Yeah.
her in that for
Yes.
putting herself in that situation more than once. One time I can blame Antonio Brown 100%, but the second time Brittany Taylor's got to take a fall. The third time definitely has to, like, why are you putting yourself in that situation? So
Absolutely. I mean, but see, sometimes, Michael, the court, we as fathers would look at it like that. You know, like our daughters. Why do you listen, we're going to go, honey, look, if that happened to my daughter,
yeah,
I'd say, we're going to go after Antonio Brown. Don't worry about it. I have your back. I'm your father. But in a little while, we're going to talk about why you kept going back. You see, sometimes the courts don't give a damn how much she went back. It's what happened. So,
yeah, like I see what you're saying about the courts, but sometimes common sense has to take over. But like, why? So like, why didn't she say something the first time that it happened?
right.
Back,
But wait a minute, Michael. I'm going to play devil's advocate with you. I agree with you. Why the hell would you go back? Why the hell would you? What the hell are you doing?
right?
As a father, but the courts look at the common sense of the person that did the act.
Yeah,
They're gonna look at Antonio
right.
Brown's common sense. Why are you pulling out your thing and ejaculating on her while she's asleep and all this stuff? Dude, she's being that's what happened. I get graphic. I mean, I'm telling you what the email
Right.
like. He's admitting that happened. So they don't even care if she went back 4 or 5 times because she's not the aggressor. She's the idiot. You can't put all the idiots in jail, but the person
You
that
should.
did the act, yeah, I wish. But the person that did the act, the crime in this case, is going to have to come out of a pocket of near $1 million and may not ever be signed by an NFL team. Real quick on the Michael Vick thing, I was one of those ones that could care less if he was fighting dogs.
Right.
I think, are you a dog lover? I like dogs.
I love dogs. Yep.
Okay, but I really didn't care about it in terms of, hey, they're pits, they're fighting. I mean, I know some people, may get mad at me for saying that. I don't care. What I care about is how stupid Michael Vick was. He should get he should get in. He should be put in jail for 10 years just for being stupid.
Right.
I mean, how are you the king of Atlanta? When you fly into Atlanta, there's a billboard of Michael Vick, not the mayor.
Right.
not a councilman.
You're right.
It's a billboard of Michael Vick. So you mean to tell me he's worth $100 million, all the endorsements, right? Oh, and by the way, I'm going to have a dog fighting ring. That would be equivalent, Michael, to Beyonce having a side prostitution ring.
Right.
In other words, why would she do that? She would be a moron.
So
okay. So yeah. So
let me
just
stop
give you
you
an
right
example.
there. Me, like I could care less if he had a dog fighting rink too, but you are making $100 million a year. You pay a guy to take the fall for you. You're like, hey man, here is $80,000 a year. If I ever get in trouble for this, you are the ring leader. You are like so. I mean, like maybe this is just me thinking like a logical person. Like you always have. I mean, like I'm making $100 million a year. I can afford to pay somebody $120,000-$130,000 a year, better
Yeah.
their lives and
You,
like keep me safe for doing these illegal activities.
you mean to tell me there was not one person in Michael Vick's circle or friend that said, "Hey, Mike," nudged him. Like one day they're at the club, right? Hey, man, you still doing that dog thing, the fighting dog thing? And Mike looks at him, "Yeah, man. Hey man, you might want to cut that out, man. Like you would ruin your whole life. Like how
Those
stupid.
no, no, no. So you are thinking like a smart man there.
Yeah.
Because Michael Vick is your boy, but yet Michael Vick is my boy, and like I have my hand out, and he's
Uh,
paying me money to just hang
right.
around him, you know.
Right.
So like I'm not going to question anything that like he does, but I mean,
I got you.
we could really get deep in that if you wanted to. Like I just saw
Yeah.
the 30 for 30 on Aaron Hernandez again. You know,
Okay.
like how he killed his friend, or you know, I mean, like there are money buys you a lot of things, but it does
Yeah.
not help you being stupid or just yeah, just
What's
stupid.
crazy is Aaron Hernandez died, and there was like a clause in his contract or clause in his deal or whatever. Even if he committed suicide,
Yeah,
that somehow his daughter now is going to get all the money, and his wife. That had he lived or something, they wouldn't have got as much money. So
right.
man, he basically killed himself, for them. I mean, that's
Well,
pretty intense stuff, man.
he was going to be in jail for life,
Yeah.
like
Right.
anyways. But back to the Antonio Brown thing,
Yeah.
the whole email situation, him basically admitting to whatever he has done. Why is he coming out publicly saying that he has done nothing wrong? Dude, the emails say that you felt like you raped her. Like,
Yeah.
why don't you just say, you know what? I made a mistake. Let me take care of this issue. Issue a public apology before it goes to the court system. Like, this should have never
Yeah.
have
I
like
would
hit
have
the press at all.
listen. Yeah. I mean, if you listen, I wouldn't be in that position. But if you've already admitted that that you like felt like you had sex with her while she was asleep and da da da. I would say, I mean, I'd come out and I'd tell. I don't know if I don't. Well, my lawyer would probably say just to shut up.
Right? Yeah.
But man, I would be. Look, I'd be like, dude, we've had a relationship for like 3 years. I've had sex with you 100 times. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not like I'm met her one night and grabbed her and forcibly raped her. Like, I would be like, dude, I know this person. She's just doing money grab. So that's
Yeah.
what Drew Rosenhaus and those guys are gonna do, and the lawyers and all. That's what they're gonna say. But the text messages, the emails look really bad, and so I'm actually a little surprised that the commissioner hasn't put him on the exempt list yet. If I've read the emails they have had, and so like to suspend him until they figure out what happened. And I'm actually surprised that New England hasn't suspended him yet,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Me being the devil's advocate, just like you were earlier, maybe they have to prove their authenticity first,
Yeah.
because we do live in the world of Photoshop, and like I can say, Donald Trump says anything
Right.
on Twitter just by a simple clicks on the button on Photoshop, but reading the first sentence of the language, not to sound like a racist or like anything just like that, but it sounds like an inner city black man trying to like talk. I mean that just from that first sentence,
Yeah, no, no, I read the whole
that right
thing,
there.
and yeah, I mean, it's pretty much slang and stuff like that,
Yeah.
man. I mean, yeah, you would think, yeah, you think, a college educated person would. It's that's not going to look either. That's not going to look good either in the court system. Those emails are going to look terrible.
Right. So,
I mean,
like, the one thing that comes to my mind is what has happened from 2018 until now that all of a sudden causes her to come out and be like, "Hey, I'm going to release these emails. I'm going to file this." Like, do you think he was paying her on the side, and like all of a sudden it's like, "Well, sorry, like, you got your fill." You know,
yeah.
I wonder what happened. What do you think happened?
That's Hey, that's possible, man. She was getting paid. I mean, think about it. I mean, that's why she went back those 2 and 3 times and 4 times, 5 times.
Right.
I mean, because he's paying her. She's getting money, man. So it's money. Money is something, man. Like so, yeah, he's paying her. So and then plus he had, man. This guy had a girlfriend, who he has a bunch of children by, or at least a couple of them by. Has been. So I mean, he's doing this while he's with the girlfriend. I mean, he just doesn't. I mean, we've all done our dirt or whatever, but man, he just doesn't come across. He's got to have other issues, man. She might want to get rid of his ass. I mean, the girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I listened to the to the Sterling tapes. Meaning, like, money is a very powerful thing. So like you can have a cheating husband for 60 plus years, but as long as he's giving you money, things are
Yeah.
hush hush. But with all that being said, let's just go on and move on from that. I'm honestly getting tired of talking about and like Antonio Brown, but
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm sure we'll have to talk about it on Friday too when he
yeah,
gets
I
cut.
mean,
So
Right. It's like, what's next,
yeah.
dude? Like, is he gonna be attempted robbery or something, or what? Or is he gonna show up nude at training camp with no helmet and no pants? Or what is he? What's next? Is he gonna wear a? Is he gonna do Odell Beckham and wear a watch during a football game? Let me ask you. Oh, here's another. Would I played football for 7 years? It never crossed my mind to wear a watch during a football game. I thought that you couldn't do that. Like, why would you wear a freaking watch in a game?
Well,
Like,
I have a
I don't
couple
understand.
high school kids that have watches on simply because they just forget to take them off. Now they're
Okay.
not $350,000 watches; they're like a
Right, but
$25 watch from Kmart or so, but
you got to
but
watch
still,
out for that stuff because
yeah.
no, like, he could scratch somebody, or
Hmm.
it could be used as a
A
nearly as
weapon,
a weapon. I mean,
yeah,
it could go in my eye.
yeah,
Football's crazy. People don't understand these arms and fingers. And dude, I played football. You know how many times I've had I was in the trenches. You know how many
right,
times I had my arm bent back going the wrong way? Like, like, there's times where I didn't feel my elbow for a play.
yeah.
Like, literally, and I'm like, oh my god. So, like, anything can happen.
Yeah,
With a watch.
you
Why
get
would you
touched in
wear a
places
watch?
that you don't
It's
want to
like,
be
hey,
touched either.
hey, come here, son. Hey, hey, 84, take the watch off.
Right,
Put the watch with your mommy.
yeah.
That's how I talk on the football field, man. You'd love me there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need some more people like you in the
Okay. Yeah.
area that I'm in.
Yeah.
But
Right. Right.
with all that being said, Thursday night football is tomorrow night. We have Carolina Panthers 0-1 take on the 0-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First things first, who do you got winning this game?
Oh God, this is this. If it wasn't for Thursday night football, this would be another one where mommies and daddies and girlfriends and wives are just watching,
Right.
and degenerate gamblers. But look, Carolina, Cam Newton thing, man. I told you before. Let me say it again. It looks hilarious when he tries to throw far. Follow me here on this one, and I'm going to reiterate it because I think it's pretty funny. It looks like they called like a 10-year-old kid out from the audience and said, "Hey, little Mikey, I want you to throw it as far as you can." And you know how, like, when you try to throw it, your little kid as far as you can, your head goes back and you're like, you're straining. That's what yeah, your head's all going one way, your arms going another. Listen, that's what he looks like sometimes, man. He's a grown ass man trying to. He can make some little throws, the 15-yard outs and 20-yard outs, and man, when he's trying to deliver that ball downfield, it does not look right, man. I think Cam Newton's done unless something happens where that gets fixed again.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's barely above 500 too. I mean, he's not Eli Manning bad, but I mean, he's not this great winner that everybody talks about. Oh, he led his team to the Super Bowl. Dude's barely 14 games over 500. I mean, he's okay. But I mean, like Eli's like one game over. I think Eli is now 500 now,
Yeah.
500 quarterback.
I
But
think so.
yeah, but no, it just looks funny, the Cam Newton thing. He's just trying to throw with all his strength and all that. It just looks funny. I think it's at Carolina, right?
Correct.
On Thursday night. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, let's look at it for this year. Usually, the home team wins Thursday night. Like, that's now there might be a rare occasion where one or two times this year where the road team wins Thursday night, but you have a big advantage. You got to fly out as the road team, a couple of days to prepare. I mean, there is literally no advantage to playing a road game on Thursday night. Like, literally, you're bad. It's going to be,
Right.
you know. So I think Carolina will win the game. I think Tampa. Listen, we talked about them. Bruce Arians. I'm sure he's pulling whatever hair he has. No, he doesn't have any hair. I'm sure he's. I'm sure he's. I'm sure he's biting nails and ramming his head through walls, knowing that Jameis Winston is his quarterback now. So that thing better get fixed, like we talked about. Or you said we're gonna see Blaine Gabbert pretty soon. We
Yep.
probably will. We may see him this game. We're giving Jameis Winston another shot here on Thursday Night Football. I think Tampa Bay will make a good showing of this. Because I don't think Carolina is that good. I think this game comes down to the wire, and I think Cam Newton will pull this game out. And
Yeah.
McCaffrey has been absolutely, dude. Christian McCaffrey is
He's
the
our
real
team.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I don't. The way these running backs are, like, these guys are a dime a dozen, man. Like McCaffrey and Christian McCaffrey and Kamara and all them. If I still know you in 6 years and we're doing something, I doubt we say the name Christian McCaffrey unless we're talking about, oh man, he was a good player.
Yeah.
I don't think Christian McCaffrey at 30 years old will be playing in the National Football League. He's going to take too many hits. They rely on him too much. He's another one. He gets too many touches. 5 years from now, his career will be done.
Yeah, just to add to that fact, in just one game alone, he had 29 touches on the offensive side of the ball. 19 carries, and 10 receptions. So if he continues that trend, he's what that's damn near 700 touches in like a
Yeah,
season, and that's
that can't
tough.
happen.
Yeah, that is very, very, very tough.
Right.
With that being said, uh, I think this is what Carolina is going to rely on all year. Is because of that throwing motion of Cam Newton. Like I don't know if his shoulder's not fully healed or if he's just scared just to let it rip. But
Right.
you're going to get a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey
Right.
on Thursday night. He is going to run for three touchdowns. I think it's going to be a 21-7 score. Jameis Winston gets a late touchdown just to kind of pad the
Yeah.
stats a little bit to make it not so much of a slacking. Now, to add to your point there, I believe the stat is that 80% time the home team wins a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I want to keep track too. Now we cannot base a road team off of a bye week because I believe there's a couple times when a team has a bye and then they play like the next Thursday night. That kind of really doesn't count.
Right.
And then the Cowboys play on Thursday or on Thanksgiving, and then they play the
Right.
following Thursday
Against the
live as
Bears.
well. So like that kind of cancels that out. But I remember last year, I want to say it had to been like the Seahawks versus the Miami Dolphins or somebody played the late the late Sunday night game, had a flight cross coast to Seattle to play that Thursday night game, and it was the ugliest game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I am a big advocate that I hate these Thursday night games. I think it is they need to wipe this clean. Like
Right.
once the 2021 contract is like up, they need to wipe this clean. They need to get Thursday night games. You can have Thursday night games on Thanksgiving because that is a Thanksgiving tradition, and I'm all
Right.
about the tradition. But these Thursday night games every week, it kind of takes away from the Thursday Thanksgiving games, to be honest, because like, oh,
And
there's another game on.
and also, I don't understand why Detroit does this. You know that Thanksgiving game comes on at 11 a.m.
Right.
Okay, if I was the commissioner, see now they put a primetime game on Thursday night. Have you know the last 3 years or
Yeah.
whatever? So after the Cowboys game back in the day, it used to be done. No more football. Now we got a third. Now we got a. You know what I would do? The 11 o'clock game is brutal.
Right.
Like that is ridiculous. I'd move the Detroit Lions to the 3 o'clock game, and Cowboys would be 7:30, and there'd be nobody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that would be good, but
Because that 11 a.m. game is, what are you doing to these players, dude? Like,
yeah.
not only do they have to play on Thursday, but you do know that you have to get up at 6 a.m. to play an 11 a.m. game?
Right. Yeah.
What are you doing to these players, dude?
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid.
And usually, like me as a fan, I don't usually tune in till about 12:30, anyways, because I'm out hunting birds or hunting deer and like
Right.
having a
You,
grand
you
old
know
time.
what?
So
Good point. Good
Yeah.
point. And also, I'd ask Detroit if they want to be involved in this anymore. Because if they don't, like, I might want to move Detroit out of there, to be honest. Then I'd put the Cowboys at 3:30, back at 3:30, and not
Mhm.
Detroit, right? And they are at 3:30, obviously. Then I'd pick two teams every year to be the night game. Just
Yeah.
get Detroit out of there. Start the Thursday stuff at 3:30, not at 11 a.m.
yeah, I could agree with that on that. I mean, like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, there's still college games happening at 11 o'clock on Thursday too. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, I mean, the college is a little different because they get another day. They're playing Saturday.
well,
Saturday, Thursday's not as bad. Now, if the NFL really wants to do something, move the Thursday night games to Friday night games. That is at least it's another day. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
true.
but they don't want to step on the toes of high school football.
Yeah. I mean, like, I am all for Friday nights being high school ball, Saturdays
Yeah.
being college ball, Sundays being NFL, Monday being like just like NFL. But like nowadays, you can turn on the TV tonight, Wednesday night. There is going to be a college football game on ESPN. It is going to be like Appalachian State versus
Oh yeah.
like a Marshall or like it's going to be teams that most people don't want to watch, but there's still football on every night. So,
Right.
but it's just crazy.
No, there is. They even have it on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Some small colleges.
Yeah.
So
So,
that's crazy. Yeah.
guys, with that being said, we're going to be off tomorrow. That's why we're breaking down the Tampa Bay Carolina game today. We both have Carolina winning. Marcus, what's your
Carolina,
final
what?
score?
Yeah, I was just about to say about 1916.
1916. So Marcus is going to have a little closer game. I think it's going to be kind of a lopsided Carolina win.
Okay.
Uh, so, guys, join us to Friday. We're going to break down week 2 of the NFL
Yes.
season, talk about some major games, and we're probably going to be talking about Antonio Brown getting cut by the Patriots. So, join
Yeah.
us Friday. Have a good day.
All right.